everybody, it's Bree and I'm back with another scrapbook process video for the Shimmers Paints Color Kits team. And I am going to be working with the April Color Kits. And this month it comes with these gorgeous You Are My Sunshine dots. And we also get these really cute daisy buttons. I love them so much. Look how pretty they are. So cute. We also get this awesome dewdrop stencil. Specific to this kit, we get a Vibes in Cold as Ice, a Spritz in Yellow Chickadee, a Colorings in Don't Stitch on Me. We get a Limoncello Shimmers, and then we also get two exclusive brand new colors that will be coming up next. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is the Limoncello. Look how pretty that is. And that already has liquid in it. So we get an Inklings, brand new, Someone Like Blue, so pretty, and then Waves of Blue, which is also another Inklings that is brand new. And then we also get this sweet rainbow cut file that you see on my desk. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to spray a piece of white textured cardstock with the Spritz Chickadee as well as using the Limoncello Shimmers. I do have plans of creating a sun using this yellow, so I'm going to stick that to the side to let it dry. I'm also going to spray the Don't Stitch on Me colorings because I do plan on fussy cutting or maybe punching out some leaves using that. So I'm going to set both of those aside to dry while I work on my background. Now I've prepped a piece of marshmallow basil white cardstock with some gesso, and then I'm going to paint on these new blues. So it's the Waves of Blue Inklings and Someone Like Blue Inklings. Look how pretty they are. So I'm also going to splatter in some of the Cold as Ice vibes, and because I want the cut file to have some color peeking behind it, but I don't want too much, but I also want it to somewhat look like a sky and to be soft and pretty underneath that cut file. So I'm just making sure that I've got all my color where I want it to be, and then look at all the shimmer. So gorgeous and so pretty up close. I absolutely love how it turned out. Now it does look like a mess right now, but when I add everything onto it, it will all come together and you'll see it here during my process. So I pulled out that dewdrop stencil that looks like raindrops, and I am pulling some tidy whitey texture paste from my stash, which is also from Shimmers, and I'm going to apply that paste through this stencil. It's going to go down kind of like a diagonal line, so it's going to start from the top left and go down to the top right, kind of like as if it was raining. I've got the whole raindrop, the rainbow, and then the sun that will also go on there. So I've applied that there, and I love the texture that it gives my layout. So I'm going to go ahead and start backing the cut file. I'm only going to back the parts of the rainbow, and I'm going to go in rainbow order using this pattern paper from the Bloom Street collection by Paige Evans with pink paisley. This is paper number 6. So I'm just figuring out which sections of the pattern paper I'm going to use. So I'm just loosely tracing around the inside of the cut file so that I can back the rainbow fairly easily. So, and I'm doing this way because I did only want certain sections of this pattern paper, and it was easier for me to do it like this. So I'm going to go ahead and carefully back this because this cut file is really delicate. I did have to be very careful backing it, and I also had intentions of creating little shakers in those heart sections. And so it is pretty thin, so I just had to be careful not to rip it. And yeah, so there it is, fully backed, and you'll see it here in just a minute. I sped this up and I cut a lot of it out because it did take me some time to create everything, and I didn't want to leave it in because a lot of it is me just fussing and fixing everything. So yeah. All right, so I have cut some acetate from my stash, and I'm applying it to the cut file, and then I'm going to go ahead. I trimmed, I stacked the foam tape. So what I did was I pulled out a roll or I pulled out some of the tape, and then I folded it onto itself, and I thinly cut it so it could fit onto that around the heart. Basically, it's very narrow, so I kind of had to fiddle with it a little bit to make it work. Some of it is still showing, like if you looked at it from the sides, like in the photos, since I am doing up close side shots of it, you can see the foam a little bit, but when you look at it on, from the top down, you don't see it. So I did triple up the foam tape because the buttons are fairly thick, I did want them to move and shake freely, so that's why I went ahead with the 3 layers of foam. So now it did take some time, but honestly it was worth it because you get to see everything move. And so I'm using some Spiegel Mom Scraps sequins from my stash to include in the shaker. And then I've also chosen this pattern paper by Paige Evans. Oh, I can't remember what number that is, but it's the raindrop paper, and I don't have it in front of me. And so you can see how everything shakes and how everything looks. Those daisy buttons are so cute. I love them so much. So I did cut out when I did the second one, so you'll see the completed rainbow here in just a minute. Now here are those 2 sheets of paper that I had sprayed the day prior, and they dried overnight. So I've taken some leaf punches from my stash and punched those out, and then I went back in with another coat of the green just to give the leaves a little more texture and shading. It didn't add too much because I do end up tucking a lot of the leaves underneath some flowers, but I know that they are shaded, and in the areas that you do see, you kind of see the splatters and the shade. So here is the yellow paper that I went ahead and sprayed. I did punch a 3-inch like half circle because just to get an idea of my sun, but I didn't end up using it. I went around it, and then I traced the sun and then just cut it with the rays. And I love how it turned out. So that's the photo that I'm going to be using for my layout. It's of my youngest son, Elijah. It was during spring. I think it was like a spring kickoff at his preschool where they rented a bunch of like slip and slides and like those big, huge blow up slides. And he was loving it. And we were finally out of winter, and it was a beautiful day. And I thought it was perfect because I don't think I've scrapbooked this photo yet. So I'm going to tuck it underneath the rainbow where that negative space, not negative space, but I don't want to call it white because it's green like the grass. But there's a blank space, you know, with the grass behind him in the background. So I tucked that photo in where the heart would be right on top of the photo. And I think I super sped this part up because for the most part, I'm just not fussy. I'm figuring out where I'm going to put all of these fussy cut flowers and that I had cut. I fussy cut from paper 12 from Paige Evans' Bloom Street collection. So I just fussy cut the flowers, and I'm figuring out where I'm placing them and tucking in the leaves that I punched out and creating little embellishment clusters. And see, you can see the mixed media background. It doesn't quite look like it did before. Once I lay everything on top and added all the floral embellishments all over it, it kind of, for the most part, gets covered up and gets that look of just a little bit of mixed media poking out from behind. So it's not too much, but you can see it, and you can still see the shine and everything behind my rainbow. So I'm just applying some glue here and there and tucking things in. Probably one of my favorite parts. I know fussy cutting is very tedious, but the end result is so worth it. And having all of those floral pieces, you know, being placed in all the leaves, I love how it turned out. So I pulled out the You Are My Sunshine dots, and I've added some tangled thread underneath them, so I've added the yellow underneath the blue and then the blue underneath the yellow. Now I specifically added that blue one right next to my sun because I think it says a little sunshine. Wait, where's my layout? It says, oh, sunshine mixed with a little hurricane. And I thought that saying was absolutely perfect for my youngest because he is so happy. However, he is crazy. And he was, well, not as much. I guess he's kind of fizzled out. But he is just a funny little boy and used to get into lots of mischief. So I thought that was perfect to be by him. And then the other yellow one says, You Are My Sunshine. So I love how that was very fitting. And look at his little grin. He's so gosh dang cute. So here is where I struggle with my title. These puffy vinyl stickers from the Bloom Street collection are so cute, and I didn't really plan it out. I usually don't, so I just stuck them down, and it was going to be Hello Spring, but let's see, it didn't fit. So I ended up with Hello Sunshine. I used the mini foam thickers from Paige's, I think it was her whimsical collection. And then here are the close-ups of the dots, not the dots, I'm sorry, that stencil. And, but yeah, I added some butterflies and some little gems, and you'll see more details in the up close photos. But yeah, my title, I love my title, how it came out. I just had a different idea in mind, but it ended up working out. So yeah, thank you so much for sticking with me. I absolutely enjoyed making this layout. Don't forget, if you do place an order with Shimmers, put my name in the notes and comment section of your order and they'll send you a free gift. And we'll catch y'all in the next video using the May color kits. I'll see you then. Thanks again. Bye.